It's pretty cool. Although Canadian teams have seen playoff success in the NBA and Major League Soccer in the last decade, 32 years for any team north of the border to bring home a title in baseball or hockey. And those sports are pretty big here in Toronto, let me tell you. Look, you guys obviously didn't play for the Blue Jays, but you played here enough. It is a little bit different feeling when you're playing for the whole country, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, the only thing I can relate it to from my career is 2001, post-September 11th. Right? We felt as though we were playing for all of New York. It's the only time in my career we didn't get booed on the road. Now, it's a different set of circumstances, obviously, but you could feel the weight of it and the responsibility you had, because it was not only Yankee fans, it was baseball fans in general around the country pulling for us.
That's because I wasn't on the team. You would have gotten booed then. No, but look, this is awesome. I mean, look, people forget that this is the first time in the history of the game that you have one team, one country. 93, 94, you had Montreal, and they were loaded with Walker and Pedro Martinez and Vlad Sr. But they have two buildings sold out. They have this building sold out, and across the street where the Raptors played, that's also sold out. But this is the first team, 91, 92, and 93, that had 4 million customers come into this building. They're back, and they're excited, and they're loud.
When it comes down to play for your country, I get it, and I visualize exactly what you say. Because remember what we went through in Boston. When that moment shows up, you forget about where you come from. You just remember where you at. And that moment impact worldwide.
Talking about the Boston Marathon.
That's
bombing,
right.
When you had the famous line to Fenway and everyone rallied around that, of course. So that's what's on the line tonight. Meanwhile, for the Dodgers, Will Smith, he's caught every inning this series. He'll catch Yamamoto tonight. He also homered in the last Yamamoto start. He took some time to speak with our Tom Verducci.
Thanks, KB. Will Smith, Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitched a gem in Game 2. 5-pitch mix. For you catching that game, what was the most impressive part?
Yeah, I think, the most impressive was the first inning. They got first and third, nobody out. Getting out of that with 0 runs was huge. He was able to settle in to the game after that and, go 9 innings.
So seeing a team for a second time, how does that change at all your strategy against Toronto in Game 6?
Yeah, it changes a little bit. You're still going to do what he does best. Might mix some things up, we'll see. But, we'll come up with a game plan, go out there, and he'll execute it.
And on the offensive end, what do the Dodgers have to do right against Kevin Gausman?
Yeah, we just got to put up good at-bats. String together some hits. Just do what we've done all year long. Put together good at-bats, drive guys in, get on base, and, just take care of business.
Thanks so much, and good luck, Will.
Thank you.
Back to you, Kevin.
All right, appreciate Tom. And Will, of course, had that big home run in Game 2, caught Yamamoto, and he's caught every inning, including that 18-inning marathon. Dodgers offense this postseason, they were great in the wild card, 2 games against the Reds, and they've been very under what they normally are. Look at their averages compared to where they are. They're under 4 runs a game. That's the second best offense in the league. So when you look at them tonight, what changes? How do they get going?
Well, you can't try to keep swinging yourself out of it and swinging harder. I actually thought in Game 3, before Freddie Freeman clipped the game-winning home run, it was ugly offense. They were trying to play home run derby, and I think those habits have carried over. If you're Mookie Betts, for example, you're a 5-tool player. Don't just try to hit home runs. Why not try to lay down a bunt, steal 2 bases, draw a walk, pass the baton, and get activated? Sometimes you can think little and big things happen.
I like to see Mookie hitting anywhere. I don't care.
You don't care that he got moved down?
I don't care. Mookie is an incredible athlete, one of the best players that I have seen in our era. Yeah, he's not seeing results, and it's frustrating. But guess what? You need to find a way to turn the page. When you walk through the parking lot, put the Superman cap on and try to have fun, just like you did going back to the Little League days. You need to be able to have that mentality and stay away from showing your opponent your frustration, because they can use it against you.
Look, it's harder to break out of a collective offensive funk against good pitching. It's tough. I mean, at regular season, you go in a funk like this, you're facing bottom of the rotation guys. Someone comes from the bullpen who's struggling. You don't see that. That's why it's so difficult to hit in the postseason, especially once you get to the World Series. It brings me back to 2001. You got to give Toronto Blue Jays pitching credit. 2001 World Series, we lost in 7 games to the Arizona Diamondbacks. In 7 games, we scored 14 runs. We had a 180 average. We hit 167 with runners in scoring position when we were outscored by 23 runs. Look, you're going to run into teams that are pitching well, and that's what the Blue Jays are doing. So that's what makes it so difficult for this Dodger offense to get going.
I like what you said, Poppy. And, you know, I remember Roger Clemens, he got rocked one game, and he walked off like he was the king of the mountain. And I said, Rocky, why'd you walk out like that? It looked like you threw a no-hitter. He goes, you never see the other side. Don't ever let them see you sweat. 5 days later, they threw a complete game shutout. And I think that's what we're looking for Mookie. But from Mookie's point of view and the whole offense, sometimes, Kevin, the best way to get out of a slump is try to get jammed. Let that ball travel. It's okay. Get jammed. You're much better getting jammed than being out in front. Out in front, you have no chance. Here, there's a lot of bloopers over first base.
Let's see, well, you've had good experience. So you've had a couple of slumps in your career, right? What'd you do?
I probably shouldn't be sharing it. I played with Jason Giambi. Yeah, I played with Jason Giambi. Jason's coming from the old Oakland A's. They were known for having a big party team and a little bit of wild. Jason's locker was a couple down for me. Took me a little time to get to know Jason, but every day I walked in, I saw this gold thong hanging from his locker. I don't know him that well. I don't want to ask him what the gold thong is there for. One day I said, Jason, man, what is that? He says, anytime you slump, you wear the gold thong, you're guaranteed to get a hit. I went 0 for 32. During that stretch, every time I walked in the clubhouse, Jason's pointing at the thong. Finally, now listen, I have shorts on. I put the thong on top. First pitch, home run off Barry Zito.
Well, that is something else. Yamamoto's been on an unreal run. He's been even more impressive when he gets some experience against a team, seeing his ERA dip with each successive time facing an opponent this season, which is wild. That just never happens. And there he is. And for Oral Hershiser to say it's better than what he did in 88 crazy. And on that, before we get into this, how about this? Before he came to the Dodgers, 2023 in the Japan series, his team Oryx was down 3-2. He took them out in Game 6. He threw 138 pitches, a complete game to go to Game 7. He's done it before. This obviously in the States in the World Series. But Derek, do you expect him to keep on going and dominate again?
I do. You know, I thought it was interesting, Andy Pettit's comp with Pedro Martinez. What Andy say? He's a smaller in stature fella. And I think it's true. He does remind me of Pedro a little bit. Look, I expect Toronto to have better at-bats against him, right? You know, he's got 6 pitches. He throws all 6 for strikes. You can't sit there as an offensive player and look for all 6. You're going to have to narrow it down to 1 or 2. Hope he puts it in the zone, and if you get it, you just can't miss it. But I expect him to go out and dominate like he did in Game 1. You know, that's just how he is, and that's how he pitches, or Game 2, sorry. But if you're the Blue Jays, your #1 goal is to get his pitch count up and try to get him out of the game, because this guy's as good as anyone.
I'll tell you what, he's going to be good. His repertoire of pitches allow him to be that good. And today, I will say this. I was paying attention to how many batters he struck out his last outing. And it was 7 strikeouts in a complete game. Something that it seems like you say, he was paying attention to pitcher count. But I will say this, if I'm in that lineup, the Blue Jays lineup, my very first 3 innings, I will give him the fastball and sit on the split changer that he has. Because once he see you hitting that, pitchers always remember. They, in their mind, they stick with you. Then I will looking for the fastball later on.
I love that, Poppy. That's a great strategy. I hope that works. Maybe if you're hitting.
For me, I'm not hitting right now.
Good for him. No, but I think, look, I think John Schneider said it best, the manager. He said it was like facing 3 pitchers. He had us dancing all night long. That's how good he was. But this is the most impressive stuff that I've seen in back-to-back starts at this time of the year. Going back to 1986, Mike Scott from the Houston Astros against the Mets. He also had a devastating split. Some people thought he was mixing it up with the ball a little bit. But what I saw that was most impressive, it was a perfect combination of stuff and intelligence. He pitched 9 innings, divided into thirds. The first third was exclusively soft. The second third was fastball and soft. And the last 3 innings, it was almost exclusively fastball. It was an absolute masterpiece.
This game falls on the weight of the Los Angeles Dodgers offense. They have to score runs. I don't care how great Yamamoto does. They have to score runs, because the best thing for a struggling offense is a shutdown pitcher. they have their shutdown pitcher on the mound, so now they have to go out and score.
And don't forget, he was going to pitch the 19th inning if there was one at Dodger Stadium in Game 3, which is crazy.
Of course he
volunteered, said, I'm going to go pitch. So this guy does it all. Now we'll see if he can keep the season alive for the Dodgers. Meanwhile, let's not forget, the Blue Jays have their ace on the mound. Kevin Gausman will get the call tonight, and he has really lived up to the billing this postseason. He's been terrific. His ERA of 2.55, so good. And I think it gets lost in that game how good he was, you know, in that matchup against Yamamoto. You're talking about the lowest opponent batting average in a single postseason. Look at Gausman right there, 163, along Wheeler just in front of him, with Fromber and Yamamoto right up there as well. But I think Gausman pitched so well, he retired 17 in a row in the same game. It's just that Yamamoto was a little bit better. So what do you feel? What's the confidence level with him tonight?
Very confident, for as long as he does not chase perfection. If you chase perfection, you get disaster.
What do you mean by that?
I don't want him to try to throw 8 innings, 0 runs. If he goes out and pitches 7 innings and gives up 3 runs, if they lose, that's not his fault. Give me a quality start. And the key word, Poppy, is trust. Trust your stuff, trust your defense, and trust your offense, and let it fly.
That's exactly what he did his last outing. He is perfect for the occasion based on the result that the Blue Jays have when the Dodgers face Yesevich. He is the perfect guy to pitch against the Dodgers today because he lived down south. He likes his pitches to keep them low. The Dodgers are bees hitting the high cheese, and he likes to stay down there with a splitter and his fastball. So if he can control that, it seems like the Dodgers, the last time they faced Jesse, they was having problem with a low pitch in the bottom of the strike zone. So he's perfect for that occasion.
Yeah, look, baseball's a game of adjustments, right? The Dodgers are the team that has to make the most adjustments today. And what I mean by that, they're not only just adjusting to Gausman, who threw outstanding his first start. They're adjusting to their own swings. They're trying to figure out their own swings at the same time. And that's a recipe for disaster. So I expect him to be successful. I expect him to go out there and do pretty much what he did the first game. Once again, this game falls on the Los Angeles Dodgers offense.
Yeah, and we'll see if they could do it. And Bobby, you talked about Savage's splitter. Gausman's splitter pretty great because in the postseason so far, 2 for 36. That's what teams are hitting against that splitter. So if he's on with that pitch, that's what's been really, really good for him. All right, we've reached that time. Game 6 just around the corner. Time for our predictions. Who is going to win tonight? Derek, you're up first.
I have no idea who's going to win.
Great start.
Yes, a good way to start it. Look, and I'm not too confident with it, but I think this series deserves 7 games, so I'm going Dodgers 3-2.
I think to beat the champ, you got to knock out the champ. I think they're going to come out fighting like the Warriors that they are. I like Dodgers 4-2. I like Muncy and Will Smith, Fresh Prince, going deep.
Well, first of all, I pick the Blue Jays in 7 games. But tonight, I'm doing it for my man Mookie. He's going to have a hell of a game today. Dodgers 7-3.
Oh,
so I got you, though.
We're thinking we're getting a Game 7 here in Toronto. There's been chants around the stadium. Jays and
I'm an company man.
Jays and your company man. Company man. Listen, nothing wrong with that. Well, who wouldn't sign up for a Game 7? It would be amazing.
Let's go.
But first, it's Game 6 tonight with Yamamoto trying to do what he's been doing to build on back-to-back complete games, and the Dodgers need it to keep their season alive. One more win for the Blue Jays and George Springer, and he's got a hug with Devo, Devon White, World Series hero for the Blue Jays. One more win. Toronto brings it home for the first time in 32 years. That's what's on the line here tonight.
To a dream scenario for Kevin Gausman.
Tommy Edman down the line, and the first base runner for the Dodgers will be Tommy Edman. Extra bases here in the third, a winning double. Well, look like they might not make any contact tonight, and then whack. Yep. Well, Hernandez got rung up on a pitch that looked to be a touch outside. Rojas gets rung up on a pitch that the Dodgers are shouting was too low. Too close to take, though, and 7 strikeouts over 2 2/3 for a guy who is not a high strikeout pitcher. Hooked down the left field line towards the corner. It is a fair ball. Will Smith delivers a 2-out double. Tommy Edman's in to score, and the Dodgers are on the board first in Game 6. Freeman takes ball 4 to load the bases, and how about this? Mookie Betts comes up with the bases loaded. Pete Walker out for a visit. First walk in this game issued by Kevin Gausman. Another 1-2 from Gausman to Betts. Base hit left field. Ohtani's in to score. Here comes Will Smith. Throw to the plate's not in time. Betts breaks through, and so do the Dodgers. Oh, an exhale and the monkey off his back. The Dodgers lead Gausman and the Blue Jays 3-0.
And a pitch in the wrong location. And this is kind of what I was talking about. All of the swing and misses and the efforts to get what looked like 3 perfect innings. Now trailing 3-0.
Little box out there from Ohtani. Teoscar Hernandez with a check swing along third and foul. He got back to doing what he's always done, trying to crush it. Down the left field line, he's got a fair ball. Ricochets off that angled sideline into no man's land. Hernandez tries to pick it with a bare hand, doesn't. It's a leadoff double for Addison Barger.
And he's thinking about in that computer, what pitch do I go to? Do I go to that breaking ball that he gives up on? The change of speed?
Throws another splitter at second. Rojas to get Jimenez. Up to third goes Barger. Up to the plate comes Springer. Yamamoto falling behind him 3-0. Who knows if he can swing his best. He shoots one to right center field. My goodness. George Springer gets the Jays on the board through biting pain. Flies one the other way. Kike Hernandez goes back out. He's got room and ends the inning. Blue Jays get a 2-out hit from George Springer. Vlad Jr. has more hits than he has swings and misses in these playoffs. And like half of those swings and misses have come against Yamamoto.
Yeah, just a great job expanding the zone, going low, up.
Strike 3 call this time. A splitter to the knees to get him. Set it off at the top. If you could have your pick of any pitcher in baseball to start this game, this is probably the guy you're choosing. Bichette goes down the left field line with a base hit. On that bad knee, he settles for the single. Varsho chops it to second. Rojas to second one. Over to first. The second double play of the game for Yamamoto. Dodgers up 3-1. They've got their guy doing it again.
Up and obviously create some stress and force a decision by Dave Roberts.
Got him. Tied him up with that splitter for strike 3, but it took him 9 pitches. One gone in the 5th.
Splitter coming.
Payoff. Another fastball to strike him out. And yeah, the fastball looks like it's surprising Barger. The reason is he's only throwing it 20% of the time.
He just pitched backwards right there, and it was perfect timing.
Not an error, but a play Betts tell you he would like to be able to make. And now fly to center field. Tommy Edmonds going back, and no worse for the wear. Only one extra pitch, and it leads to 3-1 game to the 6th in Game 6. Your team, your players, baseball your way. Follow the World Series on the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. George Springer bounces the first pitch of the 6th inning to Mookie Betts, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Yamamoto.
Left field, number 38.
Lucas trying to coax the first walk out of him. Instead of fly to center field. Routine for Tommy Edman, getting his first start of the postseason out there. Has not really been tested on that sore ankle. 2 out, and up comes Vlad Jr. Nope. Hook to left field. On the run, Hernandez. Kike Hernandez won't get there. Extra bases for Vlad Jr. 2-out double. What a month. What a play. Oh, Bichette takes a curve for a strike. Best hitter in baseball with runners in scoring position this year. 3-2 on Bichette. Here comes Yamamoto. Ball 4. Tying run aboard, and the go-ahead run coming up. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Yamamoto gets out of the first jam of the ball game with a strikeout of Varsho and keeps the lead 3-1.